The meeting between two life philosophies. The noblemen of ancient times in the East can generally be divided into two types, each with distinctly different life philosophies and approaches to the world. Each type harbored their own concerns, and while a 1,000-page book might not fully express their thoughts, one simple story could convey it all within a single page: the story of Qu Yuan and the fisherman. This is the genius of the East. Qu Yuan, a minister serving King Huai of Chu, was slandered and dismissed from his position. With a weary face and a frail appearance, he wandered along the riverbank, singing. A fisherman saw him and asked, "Aren't you the Grand Minister of Chu? Why are you in such a miserable state?" Qu Yuan replied, "The world is filthy, but I am clean. The world is drunk, but I am sober. That is why I was cast out." The fisherman said, "The wise do not cling to rigid rules and know how to adapt to the times. If the world is filthy, why not stir up some mud and join in? If people are drunk, why not drink the dregs and get drunk with them? Why think so deeply and suffer exile over it?" Qu Yuan said, "I've heard that after washing one's hair, one must comb it, and after bathing, one must change into clean clothes. How could I bring my pure body to allow filth to cling to it? I'd rather jump into the Xiang River and have my body swallowed by fish than allow it to be stained." Hearing this, the fisherman smiled, paddled away, and sang, "If the Xiang River's waters are clear, I'll wash my cap strings in them. If the Xiang River's waters are muddy, I'll wade in them to wash my feet." After singing, he left without another word. Qu Yuan's concerns are not just his alone, but rather they represent the sentiments of many throughout history. The world is filthy, but I am clean. The world is drunk, but I am sober. Our pride often leads us to believe this. What we think is always right, what we do is always correct. How could we think or act otherwise? The most immoral person in the world never believes themselves to be immoral. Even Qu, the infamous cunning warlord of ancient times, believed that he was carrying out the will of heaven. And the dropping of an atomic bomb on Hiroshima, killing hundreds of thousands of people, was viewed as an act of great humanity: kill one to save many. Even a fool believes their actions are right. The ancients said, "One may steal the commander's seal on the battlefield, but one cannot easily take away the will of a common man." This statement reveals much about the human heart. I am right. This is both a belief and a declaration. I am right. It is an opportunity to elevate one's ego, and anyone who dares to challenge it is violating one's sacred being. We cannot forgive those who dare suggest we are wrong. Believing that only oneself is right, and merely holding that belief, is not particularly strange or harmful to anyone. It is just a matter of opinion. The danger comes when we believe that those who disagree with us are wrong and misguided. In other words, while we believe we are right, we also judge others with differing opinions as wrong or misguided. The world is filthy, but I am clean. The world is drunk, but I am sober. Therefore, if the world does not involve us, it will surely fall into chaos. By considering oneself enlightened, one naturally assumes a mission to save the world. Our deep compassion for the world prevents us from being indifferent to its affairs. Our passionate desire to save the world does not allow us to remain calm when people challenge our plans. To oppose us is to be backward, to resist us is to be an enemy of progress. Thus, our duty as enlightened beings is to guide others by any means necessary. When the world is filthy, but I am clean. The world is drunk, but I am sober. How can one possibly go along with the crowd? In such cases, any method, be it enslavement or barbarism, seems justifiable, as long as it leads to saving people from darkness. Our duty is not only to save the world, but to punish those who stand in the way of humanity's progress, if necessary. Slogans of acting in heaven's name or saving the world proliferate because of our love for humanity and our desire to shape the world according to our own ideals. But alas, my sentiments are shared by everyone. Eventually, perhaps no one will tolerate anyone else. Everyone believes. The world is filthy, but I am clean. The world is drunk, but I am sober. So how can humanity avoid the chaos and suffering that has plagued every era? The desire to be a teacher to the world and the compulsion to be a leader rather than a follower, these are afflictions of humanity. Thus we long for and believe that we alone are clean and sober, granting us the opportunity to stand proudly as wise men above the ignorant. But what if, one day, all those ignorant people disappear? What will become of us, the wise men, then? Ironically, by striving to enlighten everyone, we are destroying the very pedestal we stand on. Qu Yuan's death was inevitable. It was the death of a man who realized he lacked the power to make others listen to him, for everyone else believes just as he does. The world is filthy, but I am clean. The world is drunk, but I am sober. Those with power will naturally dismiss anyone who does not agree with them. 1-2. That's the way of the world, the strong prevail. With such sentiments, Qu Yuan had no choice but to commit suicide. When one cannot destroy those who offend their pride, they often turn that destruction upon themselves. Children, in their frustration when they cannot defeat their peers, will often hurt themselves in anger. Qu Yuan, driven by similar emotions, could not avoid ending his life in the river. As for the fisherman, his concerns are vast and profound. He understood the ways of the world deeply. He knew that reasoning with someone like Qu Yuan would be futile. Why blame others for being lost when we fail to find a way to guide them? 1-2. Teaching others unsuccessfully might be due to our failure as teachers. Why are we so sure it's because others are ignorant? The wise, when things go wrong, always look to themselves first. The fisherman's decision not to argue with Qu Yuan further was not because he was weak or lacking in resolve to oppose public opinion or rally others to his cause. He left because he knew that Qu Yuan's soul was tortured by pride, the pride of self-importance. Is there any passion that torments a person more than pride? And is there any passion that clouds judgment more? Once someone is ruled by such pride, no amount of reason can bring them back to clarity. Moreover, the fisherman understood the interdependence of all things, especially the natural inequalities of humankind. He did not believe in absolute truths or universal rightness. What is right for one may not be right for another. What is wrong for one may not be wrong for another. Just as the preferences of a fool may irritate a wise person, the preferences of a wise person may frustrate a fool. Different levels of intellect and temperament lead to different likes and dislikes. Thus, the fisherman did not believe anyone could truly teach another. If teaching were possible, saints would have already transformed the world, fathers would have taught sons, teachers would have taught students, and brothers would have taught brothers. If teaching were effective, the world would already be a paradise. Teaching only works for those who share the same heart and mind. Those who agree with us consider us right, while those who disagree consider us wrong. Right and wrong, as people see them, are no more than that. With this in mind, the fisherman refused to impose his views on others. It was not out of fear of public disapproval, but because he did not want to be mocked by the wise as deluded. In today's world, people like Qu Yuan make up 99% of the population, believing wholeheartedly. The world is filthy, but I am clean. The world is drunk, but I am sober. Yet we still worry about how to get them to acknowledge their delusions. But will their pride allow them to admit their blindness? We might end up more deluded than they are without even realizing it. So it's better to be a fool than to waste effort trying. Knowing that something cannot be done but still attempting it anyway is often praised as the mark of a noble person. However, to the fisherman, Such people are merely reckless. A wise person knows how to distinguish between what can be done and what cannot. The fool takes pleasure in luck, but the wise worry about it. The fisherman's refusal to intervene did not stem from indifference to worldly affairs, nor from a cold heart toward humanity. The wise do not cling to rigid ideals but know how to bend with the times. If indeed the world is filthy, why not stir up mud and join in? If the world is drunk, why not drink the dregs and get drunk with them? A fish that leaves the water will die, a tiger that leaves the mountains for the plains will perish. People are all fools, yet if you insist on displaying your intelligence, you may bring disaster upon yourself. The true wisdom lies in appearing foolish. Learning this foolishness from the fisherman is no easy task. Faced with Qu Yuan's arrogant belief that the world is filthy, but I am clean. The world is drunk, but I am sober. And his refusal to let any filth cling to his pure body, the fisherman, a wise man, had no choice but to smile and paddle away quietly, singing, "If the Jiang River's waters are clear, I'll wash my cap strings in them. If the Jiang River's waters are muddy, I'll wade in them to wash my feet." Some may say that the fisherman's inaction does no good for the world and may even harm it. They argue that if everyone were to sit idly, doing nothing, what would become of society? But such a scenario could never happen. Just as it's impossible to stop dogs from barking or roosters from crowing, there will always be people like Qu Yuan who cannot help but meddle in the affairs of the world. Seeing both the soft within the hard, and the hard within the soft, recognizing the contradictions in all things, is the only way to understand the heart of someone like the fisherman. People like Qu Yuan, who can only see things as right or wrong, clean or dirty, cannot comprehend the fisherman's actions. Such individuals act but appear to do nothing, they do nothing but accomplish everything. That is why the fisherman smiled and left without saying another word, because we can understand his reasons. Ultimately, if the fisherman's philosophy of non-interference were adopted by everyone, it might be the best thing for humanity. If everyone were like him, taking care of themselves with clarity and wisdom, ensuring they lived without pain or confusion, there would be no need to interfere in anyone else's affairs, and everyone would be happy. If we still need others to manage our lives, we are not truly free or happy. The chaos and suffering we see today exist because everyone is preoccupied with saving the world and not enough with saving themselves. Everyone believes, the world is filthy, but I am clean. The world is drunk, but I am sober. Only by awakening ourselves can we awaken others. Only by saving ourselves can we save others. If we are still enslaved by our desires, prejudices, and beliefs, or dying for some righteous cause, it's better not to concern ourselves with the world's affairs, to spare the world more trouble. And so, amid the vastness of the universe, contemplating the insignificance of human life against the infinite cosmos, the fisherman could not help but ponder. Life, after all, is just a fleeting dream. All the successes, failures, gains, and losses are not truly within our control. They follow the natural law of rise and fall, like the unending cycle of day and night. When things reach their extreme, they reverse. When they reach their limit, they change. This is the cold law of nature, and no one can defy it. Can human effort ever truly replace the great mechanism of the universe? Or will it all be for naught? Perhaps. Fortune and misfortune are the domain of heaven. No one holds on to comfort forever. The spinning wheel of fate is in the sky, and human figures move like shadows in the night. The magnificent palaces of ancient civilizations, built thousands of years ago, are now quietly buried under layers of dust. Two life philosophies, two ways of dealing with the world, two hearts, two souls cannot live together yet must coexist for eternity. Is this not a burden for both? Thank you for watching. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more thought-provoking content. We love hearing from you. So drop a comment below with your thoughts or any questions you have. Your feedback helps us create better content for you. See you in the next video.